Hi, new double IPA day. It is Daylight from Common Roots Brewing Company, and I think it's upstate New York. It's South Glens Falls, New York. This is the third IPA I've tasted from this brewery, and the other ones both used only Citra hops, but I think they used different yeast strains, which is kind of a weird thing for a new Northeast IPA brewer to do. Usually they figure out their yeast strain and kind of stick with it. So I don't know what this one's gonna have. I assume this will be the cleaner one because I had Bright Light before. They're all Citra double IPA, and that one had a pretty clean American ale yeast strain. You know, it seemed like it was very similar to Sierra Nevadas. And the other one definitely had that Conan yeast strain, the one that was popularized by The Alchemist. Because I always notice when that yeast strain is used that it has this big biscuity peach cobbler aroma and flavor that's almost tastes like diacetyl to me, even though I'm pretty sure that it's not in that. But I've even noticed that in the Alchemist beers. But I think with their beers it's a little bit more subtle. But then some brewers, they're like, oh, let's use this Conan yeast strain, and then it tastes almost like some buttery pastry with gloopy peaches and things, which brings out a lot of the fruitiness of the hops, but I like a slightly cleaner yeast strain. This one, I don't know anything about what hops are in it. They just say modern style double IPA with strong, juicy citrus flavors and passion fruit aromas. I'm guessing there's Mosaic and or Citra in this, probably something else. They don't let you know. It's 8% alcohol. This is canned about, I guess, 3 weeks ago. It's been in my fridge the whole time, but unlike some other cans, like Trillium cans, it has kept lots of pressure in there. I've noticed that with some cans of beers, if you leave them in the fridge for a long time, especially a really cold fridge, they get a little squishier. It seems like they lose some of their carbonation pressure. I'm betting this one is going to have plenty of carb and head. We'll see. Yeah, the Bright Light was pretty clear. Yeah, this one looks a little bit clear too. Not super hazy. You can see through it slightly, but there's probably some sediment on the bottom of this. Let's see if I can get a little bit of that in there. It smells really good though. Very nice. Yep, still didn't add much more haze, but very fine haze. Kind of looks like Notch's session IPAs to me. That's a really nice aroma. Yeah, I'm not getting that Conan yeast aroma. Definitely cleaner, but I think I like it more than the Bright Light. That can of Bright Light also was forgotten in my freezer overnight, and I defrosted it in the fridge, and it seemed to be fine after that. But yeah, this smells really peachy, passion fruity. Lots of sweet orange going on. There may be some Amarillo hops in this. Very light spiciness. I'm not noticing too much dank vegetal things happening right now. Nice finely bubbled head sticking around really well. Yeah, they're pulling a lot of nice fruity aromas out of this beer without making it seem to be super big on the yeast aromas. Because it's not quite on the edge of like where Trillium and Bissell Brothers and people like that, where those are super hazy, and I think the yeast brings out a lot of candy, Smarties sort of flavors and aromas too, but this one doesn't have that as much. It doesn't have quite like the vanilla or the frosting weird birthday cake things that I can get, or coconut that I get out of those beers. Yeah, it seems like if Sierra Nevada almost tried to make a Northeast style IPA without giving up their yeast strain, but yeah, that's really nice, clean, fruity aroma. Yeah, much spicier flavor. Not super thick, nor super sweet. It's not like I'm drinking canned peaches, which is kind of a good thing. The head is still looking pretty nice there. Some lacing. But yeah, it's not, it doesn't create the sensation of drinking straight up grapefruit and orange juice. So I'm getting grapefruit flavors, but it's a little bit more of a normal, I don't want to say old-fashioned double IPA on the flavor and the mouthfeel. But the aroma is really great. And the head and everything, like they know how to can and carbonate their beers and get really great head retention. It's not even like it's super duper carbonated. I've noticed that some brewers are trying to, I think, amp up the aroma of their beers in the head when they're doing the New England style IPAs by super duper carbonating their beers, like Peak Organics The Juice, that also has a really intense Conan yeast strain aroma. This one, I don't know if you can see, but they aren't crazy amounts of bubbles in there. Just a little steady stream coming up from the bottom and the middle. But still an amazing cap of head hanging out there. Yeah, I almost kind of liked it more when I was first just smelling it. I'm getting some Honey Nut Cheerios type malt thing going on. It's pretty dry. It's not too bitter. Not too sweet, but a lot of spicy citrus happening now, basically in the flavor. I wouldn't say it's that tropical. The aroma was a little bit more tropical. Yeah, it's not even as peachy now, and when I smell it as when it was at first. Yeah, this reminds me of quite a bit of the Upright Light. Probably a little more interesting aroma to me from a couple different hop varieties. And maybe I'm getting a little tired of the single hop Citra beers, or just have figured out Citra hops or something like that. But this one is very good. If you aren't crazy about the really turbid kind of throat burning chalkiness that you get out of some New England IPAs, this is a good one to go with. This one almost, I guess, is kind of reminiscent in many ways to Alchemist Heady Topper, but without that tinge of biscuity, buttery sort of thing from their yeast strains. And I would give it, I don't know, probably a good rating, like 4 or something. It's really, really well made, and some people will, probably like this a lot. And I think it's a rather flawless beer. But I want a little bit more in the flavor and the mouthfeel to give it that juicier edge, or I want some crazier flavors that are more interesting to me. This one, it's got a slight melon thing going on maybe. But now I'm getting lots and lots of like grapefruit flesh and peel, rind, and spice, which is good, but just not the most exciting thing to me. So yeah, something like a 82 for this one or something. 84 bags of popcorn. It's definitely worth picking up and giving it a try if you never have. Goodbye.